Sunday, we told you about accusations from Mauston volunteer firefighters that their city administrator's influence over the Police and Fire Commission is fanning the flames of an already troubled department. On this International Firefighters Day, we examine whether the administrator's actions justifies sounding the alarm. Insulation from politics. It's the reason police and fire commissions, or PFCs, exist. But in the city of Mauston, volunteer firefighters say the lines between politics and professionalism are being blurred.
A 30-day suspension effective immediately.
Case in point, Nate Brown, a volunteer firefighter put on trial before Mauston's PFC in February and nearly fired for the way he responded to a suspected trespasser on his family's land. Firefighters say that allegation would have never made it to the PFC if the trespasser in question didn't work alongside City Administrator Randy Rieg. They say Rieg's had it in for them ever since he took the job, and it started with the department's bylaws.
These bylaws are really more intended for a firefighters association.
In 2020, Rieg called for the PFC to abolish the fire department's bylaws in favor of the city's employee manual.
Everything you do, whether you're volunteer or not, is under the liability of the umbrella of the city and therefore of all of the taxpayers in the city.
The PFC obliged, and the battle lines were drawn.
Everything in that employee handbook has nothing to do with us.
A number of volunteer firefighters from Mauston spoke to us anonymously for fear of retaliation. They worry Administrator Rieg's influence over the PFC is going too far.
It's his whole control issue. Randy's trying to run the city and he wants to run the fire department at the same time.
Which brings us back to Nate Brown.
And this is a pretty important case because you've got a whole pile of firefighters in the room who want to know whether this is the kind of conduct that makes them at risk for being terminated as firemen.
Ultimately, the PFC voted not to fire Brown, though he did receive a 30-day suspension. A compromise this time, but firefighters are left wondering when the flames will flare up next. Now, some Mauston residents say Administrator Rieg has gone as far as attending closed PFC sessions. While those claims are not confirmed, if true, they could constitute a violation of due process in those meetings, as Wisconsin courts have previously upheld that city influence during those meetings could, quote, impermissibly taint decisions made within the board. We reached out to Administrator Rieg. He declined to comment.